Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is Kranzer, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the recently released on PTR hero, Cassia. Now,
Make haste.
she is modeled after the Diablo 2 Amazon, and I think I've been doing some games on PTR with her, and the best build I've come up with for her as far as consistency has been an auto-attacking build. Now let's go over her stats, or not stats, her abilities and such real quick first before we get too much
March
into it, right?
forward.
So her Q is a lightning spear called Lightning Fury. You can see it's a straight line skill shot. It's got a decent range, and what happens is when you throw it, when it hits a target, it explodes and shoots two bolts out perpendicular to the location of landing. So like you saw, I hit this minion here, and it shot a bolt north-ish, and north
Make
south-ish,
haste.
right? So the idea is to hit a target that will spread the
Before my
Q
might.
to as many other targets as possible. So like if you can get them in a straight line, it'll hit all the targets. So I kind of approach her wave clear the same way I would like a Li Ming with her orb, trying to shoot
For
at
Scovos.
the side of a wave rather than head on. At least at the beginning. There are talents that modify that later on, but as it is on base, that's the way you want to go with it. So like we can hit this guy here and hit most of the wave. It's not perfect. But anyway, onto the W, right? The W is called Blinding Light. And you can see it has a decent cast range, and it has a decent radius as well. And what it does is it blinds the target for, is that 2 seconds? Yeah, it's got a delay, half a second delay. And after that half second, it blinds everything. So all those guys got the blind effect on them. Now, her synergy with this, being that she's an assassin, you're kind of wondering why does an assassin have something like that, right?
No harm shall
Well,
come
it
to this world.
increases her damage done by blinded targets, and that's a passive across all blinds. So if you have a Lily on your team that's blinding people, or a Johanna that's blinding people, anybody that's blind at any time takes 15% increased damage from her. So she would actually do really well with any heroes that can also blind enemies.
Strike with fury.
So that's her W. And her
Weapons
E
ready.
reminds me a lot of Pantheon's ability from League of Legends. She jumps in and then just does rapid spear strikes to anybody in that cone area that you see there. So it's got a little bit of an engage to it, so she jumps to the target, so you can maneuver her that far, and then when she gets on the target, she starts hitting with her E.
March forward.
So the way you can combo these abilities is you can cast the Fend, or the Blinding Light on a wave, and then you see all the bonus damage it's doing to those minions inside that cone. Of course, better timing on it will help improve the efficiency of that. But just as a base, you can see that she has pretty decent wave clearing. Now, of course, you're going to be blowing your abilities a lot to do all that. But anyway, let's talk about the build that we want to talk about here. So level 1, I've been going with charge strikes. So what that does is you activate it, and for 8 seconds it gives you a 25% damage increase on auto attacks. So you can see I hit for 274. Activate it, and now it hits for 343. And it also is increased by your blind effect. So you saw that 380.
We advance.
So the blind effect also stacks that damage increase as well. Now the other thing about this ability here, the charge strikes, is that it also causes your basic attacks to bounce to nearby enemy heroes. So in a team fight scenario, if everybody's stacked up on each other, you're bouncing those auto attacks all over the place, which can do some serious damage.
Endure.
So level 4, I've been going with Ring of the Leech to cause healing when I want healing, I mean, all of these talents are. I would say Play of the Whale is probably the least valuable here, unless, of course, you're running into a team with a lot of auto attacking. If they do have a lot of auto attacking, then you'll get some bonus out of
Weapons
that.
ready.
Which reminds me, I forgot to talk about her passive, didn't I? So she has a kind of a different passive from your average assassin, right? So you can see I got my shield here. When you see I'm moving, that shield is lit up. That means the passive is currently active. So what it does is while you're moving unmounted, so you can't be mounted. When you're moving unmounted, you gain 65 physical armor against basic attacks. So essentially, she is an anti-auto attacking assassin type. So Raynor against her, Tychus against her. You know, any of those heroes, Vala who's doing an auto attack build, whatever. She is extremely strong against heroes like that. Especially, obviously in a one-on-one scenario, because what you want to do with her ideally is you want to attack and move. And you can see the passive never drops. It's constantly lit up. So as long as you're constantly moving, your passive will stay active. And you won't take hardly any damage against another assassin who's auto-attacking, and you'll end up just obliterating them. So anyway, Ring of Leech at level 4 gives you healing whenever somebody's blind, any target that's blind. So you cast on this, and you're healing from everybody that you're hitting with that ability.
Weapons ready.
Including the hero, obviously. So it's 25% of the damage you deal to any blind enemies. Which of course, blinded enemies are always taking increased damage by 15% from her. So it's just extra survivability that you can use when you need it, versus the other one, which is constant regen, and this one, which just causes the blind effect to cast when you're stunned or rooted.
March forward.
So that's the way I would go with on 4. At 7, I've been using Impale. What that does is when enemies are below 40% HP, it increases the damage of your Fend, your E. It increases that damage by 50%, which is significant. Of course, he's going to run out of range. What a douche. So like you can see, 128. I was hitting him for 128 per attack there.
With vigilance.
As opposed to what I was hitting before on everybody else like 50s or 60s. Come out here and die. Whatever. So, level 10. Yeah, 147. Level 10, I've been going with the Valkyrie ult. The ball lightning is good damage, for sure. But the Valkyrie, kind of like a Rain of Vengeance in a way, from Vala. It does decent damage, 433 at level 21. And this one here does a lot more damage. This does decent damage, but the effect of it is that you place it, and you see the how it's kind of like a reversed arrow coming towards you. Pretty much it hits a hero and drags them to you.
Make haste.
So it stuns them essentially and drags them to you. So you can pull that medic in the back line, or whoever, you know, a running chromie, somebody that's trying to escape you. You can pull them into your team, and essentially win the team fight right then and there. So level 13.
Yes, agreed.
I have been using the what is that? Basic attacks reduce the blinding light cooldown. Now I think also that the lunging strike would be decent, but I've been wanting to pretty much maintain blind as much as I can to increase my damage and my survivability. So that's why I've been going with the Seraph 10 at 13. But I see either one of those is working pretty well.
To war.
Working pretty well with this build. So
Yes,
Seraphim.
a
So what
clever
that's gonna do is anytime, and also like I said before, this will work effectively with any other blind effects. So
For
it reduces
Skobos.
the mana cost of your blind by 30 down. It reduces it down to 40 mana. And basic attacks against blinded enemies, which means you're blind, Johanna's blind, etc., reduces the cooldown of your blinding light by 3 seconds? Yeah, 3 seconds per hit. So normally it's got a 15-second cooldown. If you cast that, he's going to run. But you saw how much of a reduction we're looking at there.
Make haste.
So pretty much, if you play this in a comp with more blind effects, you can have this blinding light up quite often, as long as you're auto-attacking. See, I only got one auto-attacking because he disengaged. But that's what I've been using, and like I said, I guess the lunging strike could also be decent.
As the oracles
Since we
have
haven't been working
foreseen.
on our Q at all, I don't use that. So to 16, right? This one is kind of a toss-up. Now the Pierce, what that does is makes your Q, your lightning
Strike with
fury,
fury.
it causes it to pierce any enemy until it hits a hero, then it splits. So before, how we were having trouble wave clearing because you're shooting at the front of the wave, if you pick it up,
For Skobos.
if you pick it up,
First blood.
uh-oh. Yeah, dodge that shit. Anyway, if you pick up the Q here, you could throw it straight through all those minions, and it would go until the end of the spell, or until it hit a hero. So you can use that for wave clearing. And then you got martial law. If you have a team with good CC, such as stuns, roots, or slow effects, not
We
blind,
advance.
but stun, root, or slow, it increases the damage you deal by 3%. You do 3% of hero's max HP for auto attack,
Your
which is a
atrocities
significant
end
amount of
here.
damage increase. So if you're running in a team comp and you have an Arthas in your front line where he can activate his E and just leave that shit on, you can be blowing through people's HP with the 3% damage boost, or maximum HP damage.
Make haste.
But what I'm going to be using is the penetrate. And what that does is every consecutive hit of your E, your fend ability, causes the enemy to take 3% more damage. So you're watching this wave here. Watch this wave. The damage will just scale up. See that? So like before, how I was talking about having problems with wave clear, you saw that this fend,
We advance.
properly placed, pretty much takes out an entire wave by itself. So you have no need
killing blow.
to pick up the Pierce ability at 16,
Rest in peace.
because this will essentially clear a wave for you. And of course, this would be more potent if you decided at level 13 to pick up this talent to increase the range and area of your fend by 20% and the duration by a half
Weapons
second.
ready.
It would actually make this talent more dangerous. But like I said, I wanted to go with the heal and more sustain and survivability for combat at 13. But if you wanted to go more DPS, you could definitely go lunging strike. So if you run into a team that you have like really solid root stuns or slows, martial law is also good. But I've found so far that the penetrate damage increase
Yes.
has
Agreed.
been the best investment.
I shall purge this land of the shadow.
Like she can just obliterate waves. And on a low HP assassin who's in the 40% damage increase, or the 40% health for the 50% damage increase range, if you blind them and then dive into them, the E will pretty much kill them. Like they're not getting out of that. And don't forget, the whole time that
We
somebody's
advance.
blinded, you're healing. So it actually gives her a fair amount of sustain in the heat of combat.
Well
See all
done.
the heals that I'm getting. If you get a really, like if you're about to die and you get a really solid blind off on their team and then hit a fend that doesn't get interrupted, you could do a significant amount of healing that would turn things around and keep you in the fight.
For
So
Scovos.
she definitely has some good playmaking ability at turning combat around. So the level 20 talent, this it bears mentioning. I'll talk about the Infinite Lightning, but I've been picking up Titan's Revenge. What that does is it increases her attack range by 2. So you can see, like, normally my attack range is from here. Pick this up, and now my attack range is back here, more like a regular
No
like Rainer
harm shall
attack
come
range
to
or
this
so,
world.
which is really good.
Fall before my might.
Now, also, what should be noted is that it ignores armor. So if the enemy heroes or if the enemy team has a tank like Johanna with armor, or Diablo, I guess, when he's charging with armor, or Arthas, you know, any of those heroes that have armor,
Yes.
that talent effectively
Agreed.
ignores all their armor, as well as any kind of bonus armor effects that they get too. So you can't avoid her damage increases like that. So it's really strong, and the extra range just helps keep her out of harm's way. You see that this cooldown, because I was auto attacking, is almost up again. And that's the idea of what you want to do. And obviously, you usually don't want to be
Weapons
attacking a tank
Well,
unless
that
you
was rather
don't have another
entertaining.
target with it, right?
Good riddance.
But let's turn on an assassin real quick.
Killing spree.
I feel like a gray main, right? He's got some decent
I
HP.
am the Queen's spear.
So I won't use my ult on this.
Those who prepare endure.
Get you over here, buddy. Now, always run away.
Enemy
So
slain.
it's pretty strong. Pretty strong. Normally,
Never duel in
people won't
Amazon.
immediately run away when you hit them with the blind. You know, it's kind of lowering the effect of the ability. But
March forward.
yeah, eat those shots.
Well
So
done.
that's what her damage is looking like now. Just auto attacking, right?
Rest in peace.
Just basic auto attack DPS. You can see she's hitting about 450. Gonna go down a little bit. So just
We
auto
advance.
attacking, she does pretty good. The increase that she gets is significant from this ability. And then of course the increase from any blind effects. So she can
I shall
do
purge this land
a
of the
fair
shadow.
amount of damage, and I've, like I said, in the PTR quick match games I've been playing, I've been really hammering some
For
people hard.
Scovos. Lend me your aid, sister.
No.
A killing blow.
So yeah, that was just a quick run over of the build. This video is already way too long. I gotta
Strike with fury.
start getting these times down a little bit. I'm going to kill the video here, and I'm going to try to get some decent gameplay of
We
this
advance.
build on the PTR after this is done. So I will see you in a bit.